Toastmasters and most welcome guests.
Good evening.
Welcome to the legendary Bangalore Toastmasters Club and welcome to meeting number 1343 in particular. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking time off your busy schedules and making it a point to come here to learn something from us. Learn something from each other. Coming to the theme for today, laughter is the best medicine. Let me tell you about myself, how I deal with this situation. In many cases, God has given me a good life, good parents, good family, good friends, decent looks. But when He was installing punctuality in me, He was late. He sent me without installing that. So I am a little not punctual, as you may say. But many times, when I go to a training or when I attend the club's meeting, in many cases, will I be scared that I am late? I should. But in many cases, what will I do? Just laugh it out. Just laugh it out because the stress is anyways there. People will anyways tell you something. Why take stress there? Just laugh it out, chill, relax. Because anyways, whatever is going to happen will happen anyway. So, relax, laugh, smile. There's a saying, laugh when you have teeth. You can smile later. Does that make sense or no? Right? So, and we have a general evaluator today who will give me good competition, or he will specifically touch upon the laughter part. I can guarantee that. Rajit sir?
Yeah. I won't touch you, only the
laughter part. We have 3 rules in our club. The first rule is, when the speaker is on stage, please don't walk around the hall. It's distracting for the speaker because he has a flow of thought, and when there is disturbance around, the flow of thought will go away. The second rule is, keep your cell phone in silent mode or please switch it off. I'll give you 10 seconds to do so. We have come prepared for that. And the third rule is, avoid talking about religion, politics or sex. Let us be nice with each other. The next person to come on stage, she is still waiting for the second cup of coffee from her husband. If you remember the back story. Apparently, she got to know about her ancestral origin a few days back. She always thought her parents and grandparents were from Bangalore. But 2 weeks back, she got to know that actually the ancestral origin was from Cochin. So, a surprising fact. She got to know at this stage of her career at least. Please put your hands together to welcome the president of our club, Toastmaster Hannah Victoria.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shisham, for putting the house in place in order. A very good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests.
Good evening.
I now declare meeting number 1343 open. How many of you are first-time guests here? Great. If I may request one of you to please stand and tell us, share with us, how did you come to know about the Bangalore Toastmasters Club and what brings you here?
Well, I got to know about this from my friend, and I was speaking to him about public speaking and how I've always avoided that. I always wanted to then that inhibition or that fear, something you can call it, always have that. So while I was speaking to him, he said, why don't you come here? It's a good platform. So here I am.
Great. Members, how do we welcome our guests? At Toastmasters, we come here every week to learn, relearn, and unlearn many of the facets of communication. And if you want to know more about Toastmasters, you can contact our Vice President membership, Toastmaster Surekha, during the break or after the meeting, and she will brief you. The Bangalore Toastmasters Club is a 25-year-old club, though we encourage our guests to become a Toastmaster at a club near your place. But the Bangalore Toastmasters Club is one of the oldest, finest and largest clubs across the world. So, I'd encourage all of you, all the guests, to become Toastmasters. The minutes of the meeting of 1342 was sent, and we had quite a few corrections which we have edited. Any other modifications which need to happen? So can we consider it as passed?
Yes.
I pass the minutes of the meeting 1342. When I just finished working for a few years after my college, at home they said, okay, it was time to get married, so they had started seeing boys for me. And a few of my cousins was teasing me. They said, we're already giving bondas to the boys. They don't need to see you as a bonda. So I got, with that fitness rage, I started walking. And I used to walk near my house. There was a park, so I used to walk around that. And I used to see a group of people, okay, who used to lift their hands high above and laugh. First it was a smile, then a giggle, and then loudly laughing. Ha 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 ha. I really I did not understand the logic of it, and neither I did realize at that time it was a therapy. For me, it was so funny that they are laughing for nothing. And then I thought to myself, maybe I should reserve, and these were all, if you see them, they were all retired people. So I thought, okay, maybe if later in life I don't have any reason to laugh, then maybe I would do this therapy. Last Sunday, I was getting ready for speechcraft, and my little second daughter, she kept hassling me to get her a clip. And just in a fit of urgency, I told Dana, can I just cut your hair a little bit? She said, fine. And in 2 seconds, she looked like a real chimp, a small chimp. So instead of cutting half a centimeter, I cut more than 1.5 inches. So her fringe was right on top, and I never realized. So my elder daughter was there, she and me. We had such a good laugh about it. And then a minute later, she put a video. Her father wasn't around, so she put a video call to her father. And he just looked at her and said, "What happened to you?" And she looked at me. She didn't utter a word. And he knew that it was I who did something like that to her. So he literally freaked out. And we were still giggling. Actually, when she was on the line with him, both my elder daughter and me were still giggling about her haircut. And then what happened? He freaked out, and then I heard her in the toilet. She was sobbing. The little one was sobbing. So I said, "Dana, I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't do it purposely. It just happened." I said, "Your friends will see your heart. They won't see your face." So she said, "Mama, why did you do this to me? My friends will see only my face. They won't see my heart." And that really crushed me. To see that child so sad. She developed fever in the night. The whole week she was irregular to school. I think she went to school only twice this week. So my friends, in life, whether we laugh it out or we puff out situations and circumstances, we need to deal with it and to face it. Moving forward, the Toastmaster of today, or the MC who would take the meeting forward, he is a postgraduate in microbiology from the University of Mumbai, and he has been in the healthcare sector. He works in an MNC which deals with blood management solutions. He has been a Toastmaster. He was here in our club and then went to Mumbai, and then in Mumbai Toastmasters Club he was the president. Came back here and he's joined us recently. So please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Ratan Shetty.
Good evening.
Laughter increases the oxygen intake, the oxygen-rich air, the intake of oxygen-rich air, and it reduces stress levels. It also relaxes your muscles and your lungs and the heart. That's a lot of gyan, right? Instead of that, let's do one thing. Why don't we all just curl our lips upwards? Let's do that, all of us. Let's curl our lips upwards, and it's a smile, right? Now let's just chuckle and say, ha 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 ha. How does that make you feel? Lighter? Yeah, some of them have already got a jet lag and they still just want to keep laughing. So laughter is the best medicine. And this exercise which I just proposed to you is not something which I invented. It's been mentioned in the Mayo Clinic website. And it's documented that laughter has got therapeutic benefits. So if laughter is a medicine, then what is the illness? The illness is not one. There are many illnesses. Stress, troubles, and all sorts of other illnesses. So laughter, in my language, I am from the healthcare industry. I could call it a broad spectrum antibiotic. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
It's a broad spectrum antibiotic, and when you talk of an antibiotic or when you talk of medicine, then definitely you need doctors, right? Over the past couple of decades, in India at least, there is this breed of doctors that has emerged. I remember 20 years back on national television and in the national language, of course in Hindi, we had what was called as the Great Indian Laughter Challenge. And in this Great Indian Laughter Challenge, ultimately there emerged 3 winners. Yeah. The person who stood first, his name was, anybody knows? Sunil Pal. The person who came second, he had this very famous phrase that he used, and that was Pehchan Kaun. Identify me, we are Toastmasters. So Naveen Prabhakar was number 2, and now we come to the vicissitudes of life, not the vicissitudes of life, the vicissitudes of life. The person who came third is a gentleman whom very recently we lost, Raju Srivastava. And we are not going to brood because he's a person who stood for laughter. So we are going to keep in that spirit because laughter is indeed the best medicine, and we are going to get on with the rest of the meeting. Coming to laughter, does it have a role in conversations? It does. And do conversations have a role in communication? They do. And when you think of communication, when you talk of communication, when you talk of leadership, which is the platform that comes to mind? Toastmasters. I don't know if I've actually, kind of dampened the spirits, but I want a louder response, fellow Toastmasters. Yes. So Toastmasters, for the benefit of guests, is an organization which started in the year 1924, and it's going to complete 100 years of its existence in the next couple of years. There are more than 300,000 members, or close to 300,000 Toastmasters members in more than 150 countries, and representing more than, I'd say, 25,000 clubs across the globe. And there's one thing that's common about Toastmasters meetings across the globe. The periodicity may vary, but what is common is the pattern of every Toastmaster meeting. So each Toastmaster meeting is composed of 3 segments. The first segment is where members prepare speeches as per project guidelines and then deliver their speeches. That's called as the prepared speeches segment. The second segment is where the members speak on a topic that a facilitator, a table topic master, gives to the members. And that is called as the table topic session or the impromptu speaking session. And the third session is where all the proceedings of the meeting, including all the people who've taken up roles, right from the sergeant at arms to everyone, including me, they are going to be evaluated. And that session is going to be today coordinated, going to be conducted by, I would say, one of the most accomplished Toastmasters of our club, but also of this district. And he is Dr. Rajdeep Manwani, and accompanying him will be, or assisting him will be a group, a team of 3 people, 3 role takers who are the grammarian, the timer, and the hour counter. In today's meeting, the role of timer is going to be taken up by Toastmaster Jeevan. I hold and request him to introduce his role when the general evaluator calls him up. Secondly, as the hour counter today, we have Toastmaster Priyanka, and as the grammarian, we've got Toastmaster Puneet. So they are the tag team members for today. So what are the 3 sessions? Guests. The first session is prepared speeches, the second session is table topics, and the third is the evaluation session. So we will commence today's proceedings, the proceedings of today's meeting. And that brings me to the first speaker for the day. The first speaker for the day will be evaluated by his speech evaluator. And before I introduce the speaker, I request his evaluator, Toastmaster Jose, to please spell out the project guidelines.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ratan. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, the speaker is presenting a level 1 speech from the project Writing a Speech with Purpose from the pathway Presentation Mastery. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods of writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Joseph. I am not seeing the first speaker in the hall. If he is not yet assembled, we'll move to the second speaker. The second speaker is a professional from the IT industry who's been in the industry for quite some time. He's recently become a pet owner, and one thing that he remarks about is that he's not sure whether he is training the pet or it's the other way around. Now he was very particular that he wanted to keep the topic, or rather the speech title, under wraps, and I will respect that. I will just call him onto the stage and ask him to go forward. But before that, I request his evaluator, Toastmaster Alan, to please read out the project guidelines.
The purpose of the speaker's project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, please note speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Best of luck to the speaker.
Fellow Toastmasters, as we said, laughter is the best medicine, but we have to deal with the vicissitudes of life. And on that note, let me call on stage and please welcome with a big round of applause Toastmaster Nestor.
Thank you, Ratan. Quick question, everyone. How many seeds are in this avocado?
One.
Oh, perfect. And let's ask another question. How many avocados are in this seed? So, this seed has all the power, the know-how, the knowledge to become an avocado tree of its own. And did you know that an avocado tree, once it's 5 years old, starts producing up to 300 fruit a year? For its entire lifespan, it can range up to 400 years. We are talking about over 36 tons of avocado and over 120,000 avocado seeds, all of which have the potential as the seed. Amazing, isn't it? No, that's one of the wonders of the mystery of life. No one is quite sure where one life can lead and how much one life is worth. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm here to take an unpopular stand on a topic that's been in the news very often of late. So while I do this for the next 5 minutes, I have 3 requests. Please lend me your ears, listen with an open mind, and suspend all judgment. The theme for today is laughter is the best medicine. But I'd like to argue, the grammarian's permission, that life is the bestest medicine. The subject today is rather vicissitudinous compared to the theme. But let me step back and start with a story about a little girl called Baby Vidya. She was born in a small village in Tamil Nadu to the Irula tribe. She was the third daughter to a really poor family. And given their circumstances, they were going to do the only thing that was common practice at that time, which was to feed the just born child a few drops of cactus juice that was known to have some toxins, which would ensure that Vidya will live beyond a few minutes. How morbid. Thankfully, Vidya's story has a happy ending. Thanks to her brave grandmother, who scooped the little bundle up, got the first bus that she could out of town, got off 100 kilometers later at a village that she'd never been to before, pleaded with strangers she'd never met, saying this baby's life is in danger. Good fortune smiled on Vidya. She was taken in by the village, and her grandmother departed. Fast forward decades later, Vidya, armed with this story, was able to trace back her lineage to that family and that village. She got to meet her grandmother and thank her in person for saving her life. She thanked her, she made peace with her parents. And today, Vidya, all of 24 years old, is doing a PhD at the Avinash Lingam University in Coimbatore on gender policy, as a family of her own and as adopted daughter. Amazing, isn't it? That a life that could have been so easily snuffed out had so much to offer. What if Vidya's parents did not have to wait for Vidya to be born to give her this cactus juice? What if there was a way they could eliminate Vidya while she was still in her mother's womb? I'm here to talk about the subject of abortion. Let me first address the elephant in the room. Abortion is a woman's right issue, isn't it? This is settled in a progressive society. The WHO, the Center for Reproductive Rights, and a lot of the organizations explicitly or implicitly support abortion. In fact, the UN, just this month, passed a resolution, adopted a resolution stating that abortion is a fundamental right for women and girls. The common theme that we hear is my body, my choice. Where does freedom of choice begin and choices, whether it be abstinence or it be taking protective measures. But the choice that every woman has is to not get pregnant. Birth control is readily available. No one's against that. What we are against, or what I would be against, is us as a people and us as a society excusing our collective conscience and allowing the masculine of unborn children. Should we hear issues of rape, incest? What about when having a child could actually be a danger to the mother's life? Those are 2% of abortions globally. I'm here to talk about the other 98%. You've all heard this term, ignorantia juris non excusat. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Why doesn't this apply over here? When are we going to hold people, primarily adults, accountable for the consequences of their own actions and their own choices? One of the things that we learned, one of the many things we learned during the COVID pandemic, is bodily autonomy ends when another human can be harmed. In fact, Novak Djokovic was banned from 2 Grand Slams because of the choices that he made. Here, a mother exercising the choice means ending a life, and simply put, the right to not be killed supersedes the right to not be pregnant. Let's just step back for a few seconds and look at the numbers. In the last 50 years, there have been over 1.5 million abortions. We are talking about the number of unborn children who have been killed globally is greater than the number of people who died due to AIDS, violent crime, accidents, cancer, and heart disease all put together. According to WHO statistics, 17 unborn children have been killed in the 6 seconds it took me to complete the sentence. And the financials are equally worrying. In the US alone, the industry is estimated to be $3.7 billion. Numbers aside, there are a lot of arguments that here about fetal viability, fetal personhood, the mother's economic independence, not bringing a child up in a world or a home where it cannot be nurtured and cared for. A lot of those may be valid and can also be used to condone infanticide. And there are counter-arguments. But the point is not to turn a question of life into an intellectual debate. At the end of every discussion on abortion, there is one certain outcome, their baby. In the words of Dr. Seuss, even though we cannot see them at all, a person is a person, no matter how small. When is eliminating a human life justified? When will be, let's call it what it is, the mass murdering of unborn children acceptable to us as a people and as a society? Gandhi famously said that a society is judged by how it treats its most vulnerable members. Nobody is more vulnerable than an unborn child. Who will speak up for the voiceless? Let me leave you with 6 words. Be their voice. Let them live.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Nestor. We now move on to the next speaker. And before I introduce the speaker, I request the evaluator, Toastmaster Ankit, please read out the guidelines.
The purpose of the speech is for the speaker to understand the types of persuasive speeches and to deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. Please note that time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you. And all the rest of the speaker.
Our next speaker is someone who's got a great sense of humor. And I say that because he openly expressed to me that at his meetings, at his office get-togethers, he is known as Santa Claus. Now this gentleman doesn't believe that laughter is the best medicine for Toastmasters. Because he believes that medicine is for sick people. And Toastmasters are lively, energetic, enthusiastic people. So laughter is the best meditation for them, he says. The title of his speech is Truth is its title. The title of his speech is titled And put your hands together and welcome Toastmaster Lokesh, who will tell you what title means.
How many of you have come across a quotation in your life that has changed your life completely? Raise up hand, please. Thank you very much. Year 2005, October, I came across a quotation and I thought it's a very simple quotation, but I didn't realize that once I started living that quotation, my entire life changed. This is from a book, a very small book, a collection of quotations at the feet of the master by an author, L. Simon. Fellow Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and the esteemed guests. When I read, one of my friends loaned me this book and shared about this particular quotation. And he said, whatever you say, let it be true, kind, and helpful. And if one of the three is missing, don't say it. I said, yeah, very simple. In a day, I say things which are true. In a day, I say things which are kind. And in a day, I say things which are useful. So it should not be a problem saying things which are true, kind, or helpful. So after that, I started observing conversations with my friends. I noticed that as an observer, most conversations are useless. Surprisingly, yes, they're useless. Bollywood, sports, politics. Okay. Then I also noticed some of these conversations are actually not very kind. There is hidden sarcasm. There are psychological games that are played during the conversation also. And finally, when I tried to look at the authenticity of this information, what they were saying, I realized that most of the information was a second-hand information taken from internet or from media, tossed on the table. Something from the analyst, something from books, something from somewhere else. And this was a good revelation for me. So I said, okay, let me try practice this. That from today onwards, whatever I say, it will be true, it will be kind, and it will be helpful. Surprise. I realized that I didn't have much to talk. So in conversations, because I have to use this filter before saying anything, I realized that I didn't have much to contribute, so I stayed silent. After a while, my friends noticed this and said, hey, what happened? I said nothing, I'm just trying this thing. My family members, they thought something is wrong with this guy. Is he depressed? They asked me, do you need a psychological attention? I said, no, don't worry, everything is fine. I'm just doing a social experiment of saying only what is true, kind, and helpful. So they were okay with that part. So as I continued to practice being what I was saying, like true, kind, and helpful, I realized that being an IT professional, most of my communication is actually written, emails. So I said, let's practice it there. That whatever I write, let it be true, kind, and helpful. Few things happened with this. My emails became shorter, to the point, and crisp. Yes, I did use the word dear, I did use the word with best wishes and thank you. Because they are kind. I don't know how useful, but they are kind. Yeah, did that. In a few weeks' time, I noticed certain changes. Because I had to figure about the uselessness things, the mind became more peaceful, more calm, and more clear. My ability to understand certain topics which were difficult earlier, I was able to understand them very easily. Something funny also happened. I realized that over a period of 1 month, 2 months, the invitations for the get-together, invitation for the parties, they actually reduced. And I was wondering what's happening. And that's when I realized that many of my friends, because I was not gossiping, many of my friends found me boring. So they left me alone. which was good for me. Now, in today's world, we use social media, WhatsApp quite a bit. So I said, hey, it's not just about saying, it's also about what you communicate using the social media, not just the email, not just the speech. So I had to actually, what are the messages coming and I forward, I had to verify. First, are they useful? Again, 90% no. Are they kind? Yes. But the most challenging was that, are they true? So if someone said that Mr. Bill Gates said so, I had to verify whether it's true before forwarding. If someone said that Mr. Warren Buffett said so, I had to verify over the internet that this is true. And I realized that most of the things were not true. Another good thing happened after a while. I started attracting friends who were true, kind, and helpful. My conversation with my new friends became more enriching, it became more useful, it became more uplifting for me. As I practiced longer, it took me a few years to reduce that useless, unkind, and untruth from 100% to almost 5%, 10%. It took almost like 8 years longer. But after that, life has been good, it has been very beautiful, very peaceful, nice friends, good friends. I would like to request you to think, how would your life be if you started communicating verbal, written things which are only true, kind, and helpful. So let's take this. For the next 3 months, till end of the year, we always make New Year resolution. Let's make an end of the year resolution that till the end of the year, whatever we say, it will be true, kind, and helpful. And if one of the three is missing, let's not say it, let's not communicate in whatever form. I would request you to take a few seconds to close your eyes and visualize how your life would be if whatever you communicate is true, kind, and helpful. I'll check the time and I'll inform you after 10 seconds. Let's take a few minutes, few seconds to do that. With this, welcome to a new life. Over to Toastmaster.
Fellow Toastmasters, that was Toastmaster Lokesh with his speech, Truth Inspires Trust, Lies Are Ephemeral. That's title, which was the title of his speech. With this, we will now request the evaluator of the first speech, Toastmaster Jose Paul, to read out the guidelines. We have the first speaker in the hall now, so request you to please read out the guidelines.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ratan. Reading out the guidelines of this project again. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, it's 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jose. Our next speaker is someone who's a very fun-loving person. And when I asked him what the words laughter is the best medicine mean to him, he said that it is very important for people to engage in laughter, and even if it's a fake smile, it's okay. But laughter is important. What he does and all that I will not say, that is probably a part of his speech. Dance, my form of expression. It's the title of his speech. Toastmaster Guru Raj, dance is my form of expression. Toastmaster Guru Raj. Let's start again.
तू चीज बड़ी है मस्त मस्त, तू चीज बड़ी है मस्त when you find purpose and meaning in one thing that you're doing in life, it grows in all areas of your life. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
It's said that when you do something in life, it teaches you something on the other. And I just would like to share 3 things out of the many things that dance has taught me in my life. Now you would be wondering why I started with that song and the dance that I did, even though the energy was not that good and the song was not that loud. That's the speaker, that's the technical limit, I know. But anyways, this is how my dancing journey began. I used to move my hands like this when anytime that this song played, when I was just a 6 months old baby. So this movie, this song, Tu Cheez Badi Hai Mast Mast, was from the movie Mohra that was released in the year 1994, and it was a very famous track that time. And I don't know anything about the movie, but this song happened to be one of the first songs that I started dancing to. As it is said that dance is the language of the soul, I started expressing myself through dance from a very young age. My nani happened to be one of the first people who noticed me dancing. And I used to dance every time that she used to feed me. And she had given me a title, called me Nachu Nanju. That means dancing baby or dancing doll, or just somebody who dances. And I realized this, going back to this memory, I realized how we as children don't have any inhibitions, and how we tend to bring it up as we grow up. How dance helped me overcome my inhibitions. Even though I was a very shy kid, I wanted to join a dance class, and my father, being very supportive and encouraging, put me up into a music and dance school, Rhythms. I was one of the best dancers in my batch then, and got to perform in one of a very huge stage, main lead with a girl. And imagine a first standard kid, shy kid, dancing with a girl, doing dance lifts with her on stage at that age, and pulling off a great show. And I did it. I found dance to be my form of expression. Now, like I mentioned in my icebreaker that I started my schooling in Sapphires, my second dance stage performance came in 3rd grade when I performed in front of the whole school, and I got a lot of appreciations for that. And these performances and appreciations helped me overcome my inhibitions in my life. I think I'm going to stick to that. I grew up being more confident in my form and started dancing more freely in front of anybody and everybody. Courage is what I needed. And courage starts when you show up and start. Courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. This is the first lesson that dance taught me. Now coming to the second lesson, how dance helped me to take up a leadership role. In my second school, St. Joseph's, the 8th, 9th and 10th grade students had to do a dance performance on the ground on sports day every year. So I happened to be part of the main dance teams in the school. So I helped in the choreography and teaching dance for these performances. With each grade having 50 students on average and 4 sections, I had 200 students in each grade. So this gave me an opportunity to look at myself differently and express myself in a whole new way. I had become a leader, choreographing and teaching about 800 students. The goal was to present a spectacle for the audience, and every performance got a standing ovation. It is said that a leader never sets out to be a leader. They set out to make a difference. It's never about the road, it's always about the goal. This was a very beautiful experience, and I remember starting to feel very proud of myself, and with that, this boosted my confidence a lot, even more. And I think anytime BTMC wants to do any kind of choreography, they know whom to call. How dance helped me reinventing myself. Being very confident in my dance, I got into the street dance team at my degree college, CMS. I saw, now not having any idea about this dance form, I had put myself out of my comfort zone. I saw people doing moves and steps that looked very simple, but when you try to do it, it seems almost impossible. I felt like a non-dancer and a total amateur. I had to start all over again. There is no limit to dancing. This made me realize that to become an artist, you need to innovate and renew yourself every day. You will never know your limits unless you push yourself to them. And when you love what you do, you have the energy to go beyond your limits. I used to practice for 6 hours to get better at my dance, and I think these are the 3 lessons. Okay, and I would just like to end with a quote. Never ever let anybody tell you what you can and can't do. The sky's the limit. Your sky, your limit.
With this, we come to the end of the first session for today. That's the prepared speeches round. And what do we give to all our 3 speakers? Kindly vote for the best speaker. The password for the voting links is LAUGHTER, which is laughter in small letters. We'll give you 30 seconds to do that. Another 5 seconds. Now we will move to the second session of the day. And before that, some trivia about laughter. Laughter is something which is very integral to speaking, public speaking, and it helps you build your voice. Any public speaker, any speaker per se, would know the importance of having a good voice. So laughter is something that can help you build the volume of your voice. Now, I used to do this. There's this book called as Your Speaking Voice, which is integral to Toastmasters. If you go through that book, there's this page where they say that keep laughing. And I used to do that, and my family used to think I'm nuts. And then they say that, you laugh quietly. So I used to do that as well. Anyway, so that's a different story. Voice is something that's so important. And voice is not only important in the prepared speeches, it's important in the table topics as well. What are table topics? Table topics is our next session, and I will not tell you what table topics are. The person who's going to be coordinating the table topic session will be doing that. And before that, and since we've had our first speaker come up, I think it's time for us to head into a break now. We've had a full session of 3 speeches. We'll go for a break of 10 minutes, and then
5 minutes.
I'll go with the timer, who's our the person who's going to dictate terms in terms of time. So please be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back. For our next session, we have someone who's come down from all the way from Bhopal and is very proud of being associated with the Toastmasters platform. She is a business strategist, and when she's not working, she likes to crack lame jokes. She will be conducting the session with scenes from a hat. Please welcome with a loud round of applause the table topic master, Miss Aisha Tyler.
Hi, my name is Aisha Tyler and this is Whose Line Is It Anyway? And I welcome you all to Scenes from a Hat. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm not that clear. Right. But yes, this is still Scenes from a Hat. The idea is fairly simple. There are chits in it with topics in the name of particular speakers. I have additional ones for the guests, and one particular person who has given his name to President Hannah. The idea is very simple. Each chit has a title. You get a minute and a half. Timer, please note, show the green card at 30 seconds, yellow at 1 minute, and red at 1 minute 30. Okay, let's quickly get started. Who do we have? Oh, the topic is Young, Dumb and Broke. I'll repeat, Young, Dumb and Broke, Toastmaster Nagesh. Nagesh, sir, is outside? Okay. No, I'll go to the next one, not a problem. Okay. The next topic is why modern art is a scam. I'll repeat, why modern art is a scam, Toastmaster Theresa.
Why modern art is scam? How do I know? I am not modern. I do not know anything about art. And Topic Master says, asking me to speak about why modern art is scam. Anyways, I'll just give a try. Art. Of course, it is a huge subject where time will show is card if I say that. Modern, of course. Still there is a lot of debate. And when we say modern art, you just scribble anything that is modern. In this art of speaking, if you say it is a modern and you something, that is again a modern art in public speaking. You write anything, throw the water in different shape, that is a modern art. You cook something, whatever you feel like to, that is again modern art of cooking. And you speak, putting tush, push, tush, tush, English, this is modern art, the speaking art. Do you all agree that I am almost in the verge of scam? Really? And I do not agree. The Topic Master session is modern art is not at all a scam. Over to you, Topic Master.
Okay, next one is, if I was Donald Trump, I'll repeat, if I was Donald Trump, Toastmaster Zafar. Okay, Zafar is not here. Let's quickly go to the next one. Okay. This is what Toastmaster Sumitra. A thing I'll be arrested for. I'll repeat, a thing I'll be arrested for.
The very fact you came and stretched out your arms, I knew I was going to be arrested. Because whenever you're called up for table topics, it is a form of getting arrested. Why do you think I will get arrested? I don't think ever. When they come, I give her my broad dimpled smile and mesmerize. Whether it's a policeman or the table topic master or anyone. I don't think I can ever be arrested. That is, I firmly believe in that. And when you believe in it, it never happens, isn't it? So that's why I said, why should I be arrested? I don't do any harm to anyone. I soothe them with my smile, and therefore I can never be arrested.
Okay. Quickly going to the next one. Let's catch some new Toastmasters. Okay. Toastmaster Rashi. What not to say on a date? Toastmaster Rashi. What not to say on a date?
What not to say on a date? See, I cannot talk too much about it because no experience, guys, just no experience. But maybe some advice or something that I would not say on a date is bore people with my book stories because I love reading books and maybe it's just guys who don't read books. Like, I don't know. I don't get the point why people can't read books because it's amazing. Books are really, really nice. So what not to say on a date would be okay, I don't know. Maybe after experience I will come back to this same stage and tell you guys about what not to say on a date.
We have Toastmaster Nitesh. Reasons to cheat on your partner. Toastmaster Nitesh. Reasons to cheat on your partner.
Well, there can be many reasons to cheat on your partner. If I can start listing down, there will be hundreds, thousands. I can't even count them. But I will never cheat. That is for sure. No, it's not bad actually. You should never cheat. So yeah, reasons to cheat on your partner, I would say eventually it becomes zero.
Cool. Who's next? Any guesses? We have Toastmaster Bruno, and the title is Barbie, I Love You. Toastmaster Bruno, Barbie, I Love You.
Barbie or Barbie?
I will never say Barbie, I love you, nor Barbie, I love you. The reason is that, first of all, I don't think there's going to be any Barbie around me anytime. So maybe I'll cut short this topic and say, Bar, I love you. I'll take up the amount of stuff. Because it's Friday. Friday is one day where 1 kilometer radius, everybody is going to a club, and this is the only club where alcohol is not served. But you still get high. I get high. See, you get the front row seat there. The advantage is you get to see what speakers are speaking and all this drama. And I also get to take the photographs. And when it comes to bar B, that. Maybe next time, yeah. Next time. Hey, over to you.
Quickly going on to the next one. Okay, this is fun. Toastmaster Abhay, your topic is inappropriate Tinder bio. I repeat, inappropriate Tinder bio, Toastmaster Abhay.
Fellow Toastmasters and Topic Master, that's a very inappropriate question for a guy who never had a Tinder bio and is already married. So, what could one put on an inappropriate Tinder bio? People put all sorts of photographs and things like that, and I also heard that people go one up and maybe put photographs that are maybe not, that should be really censored, to put it mildly. And I think that's an inappropriate Tinder bio. But apart from that, there could be many inappropriate things to be put on a Tinder bio. For example, how much wealth you own, how many cars you have, and while that would attract all the wrong sorts of people to you, maybe that's again falls in the definition of what you want to put on your Tinder bio or not. But unfortunately, I have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about, and Priyanka's smile really says what nonsense I'm entering. So I'm just going to conclude. Thank you very much.
Hope you guys are having fun. There are more embarrassing titles coming your way. The next one is, okay, Toastmaster Aishwarya. Your title is Cheating the Proper Way to Do It. I repeat, Cheating the Proper Way to Do It. Toastmaster Aishwarya.
Our table topic master didn't say cheating on what? Cheating on my diet, cheating on my boyfriend, what? I don't know. But I'm going to talk about cheating on my diet. Not that I'm following one, but then, shit, what do I talk about? Okay, so, forget it. Let's talk about cheating on your boyfriend. The proper way to do it. The proper way to do it is, of course, find somebody who is way, way out of your league. Try and hit on somebody whom you don't think you can get. So that's the proper way to do it. It's like, if you're doing it, might as well do it with somebody who's Thank you.
Let's see who's my next victim. Toastmaster Ganesh Pai. Ganesh Pai, okay. Not there. Let's quickly see who's next. Toastmaster Guru Prasad. Your topic is my thoughts in the shower. Toastmaster Guru Prasad. Thank you.
Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
It is like every time, most of the times I'll be in dreams only. Most of the times, I keep dreaming. I keep dreaming. I keep dreaming big. Yesterday, today I was talking to my colleague. She said, like, no, Guru, why are you working here? Why don't we start a company? I said, no. Come with 100 crores of money, then we'll think about it. So when you dream, there's no time. You can dream all the ways. When you drive a car, you can dream. You can work, you can dream. When you dream, you can imagine big. When you're imagining big, you can see the bigger world. So on top, you can achieve what you set, the standards. So always I believe that keep dreaming wherever you're dreaming. Don't think that when you're showering only you have to dream. You dream everywhere. You dream everywhere. As you also dream in the bars when you have a drink, as our secretary said. You can also dream when you go and do an art. So dream is everywhere. So you can think everywhere, think big and dream big. All the
Okay. Let's see who's next. Okay, our beloved Toastmaster Surekha. The topic is why everyone wants a pet monkey. I repeat, why everyone wants a pet monkey.
I would say not pet monkey, why everybody wants a pet. Because the other day, our friend's daughter came here and she lives in the US. And she has 3 children in the age bracket of 12, 6 and 4. And one day they came up to her and said, Mommy, we want a pet. Now this one was climbing up the wall, managing these 3 brats. But they won't give up. And she finally gave in to their pressed power and she said, okay, I'll buy you a pet. But the pet will be of my choice. Sorry boss, it wasn't a monkey. so then they said, okay, Mommy, at least she's willing to buy us a pet. Then she said, come Auntie, we'll go on the ride. And she took them to the pet shop. And that was a pet fish shop. And they bought a tiny fish. They called it Goldie. They came home, they paid $100 for it in the US. Then they took a glass bowl. They bought a glass, $200 for that. She had spent $300. $50 for the food, $350. Came back home, pet was swimming happily for 3-4 days, and then one day it became sluggish. So the children said, take the pet to the doctor. She went to the doctor, the secretary said, do you have a pet insurance certificate? She said, no. She said, then 500 rupees consultation fees. She started going back, no, Mommy, come. We have to see, we have to have our pet examined. The children insisted. She paid 500 rupees. The bill went up to $850. Then the doctor examined and said, pet has a viral infection. And gave some medicine. Another $50, $900. Came back home. 2 days, pet passed away. Then the children had a funeral ceremony. And the beauty of it is that 2 days later there was a call from the pet's clinic. How's the pet? No, I'm sorry, the pet died. Within 15 minutes there was a knock at the door with a condolence card and a bouquet of flowers. And thank God we don't live in a country which is free, where we are not enslaved from pet insurance.
Good. Quickly going on to the next one. Toastmaster Richard, it's for you. Unlikely ways to impress women. I repeat, unlikely ways to impress women. Toastmaster Richard. Unlikely ways to impress women.
Fellow Toastmasters, just to impress a woman,
First of all, she should be made secure. Women will appreciate anything, but she will never tolerate insecurity. It's always said, women, they are very much cautious. When they put a feet forward, they always see whether this is a helpful situation for me. Therefore, if you borrow, if you have a limousine or a bigger car, the first way to impress her and to gain her confidence. Therefore, never say that I'm a poor man, I will improve with your help, but you always say that everything is a surety. And best is to come if you join your hands with me. Then only you will be able to impress her.
Quickly going on to the next one. Okay. This is for Toastmaster Abhirama, and your title is Things You Can Say to Your Dog But Not to Your Girlfriend. I repeat, things you can say to your dog but not to your girlfriend.
Table topics master, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. It's a good topic, but I was sitting there thinking, why is our table topic master giving topics around dates, about taking a shower, about impressing women, about modern art? I was wondering, what will I get? Will he give me something else? But looks like, again, he says things you can say to your dog, but not to your girlfriend, right? I mean, are you saying that, look, so of course you cannot say things to one person and say a different thing to someone else, right? It's a pet, it's a dog, and then you have your girlfriend who you want to be with, and I would say there are people in this world who like dogs more than their girlfriend, who value the dogs way more than their girlfriend, because a dog can never cheat. So the message is, don't ever cheat anybody, love your pets, love your dogs. You know, the human beings are the only creatures on this planet who have these cognitive abilities, who can think, who can do logical analysis, you know, who can also cheat. But dogs, you know, what is their ultimate goal? Their ultimate goal is just to lead a happy life, have food, sleep, and then reproduce. That's all they want to do, right? Any animal. So a dog can never cheat. That's all I can say. Thank you.
I can safely say Abhirama's dog and girlfriend are both happy. Going on to the next one. Toastmaster Shelma, this is for you. Improper things to say at a queen's funeral. I repeat, improper things to say at a queen's funeral. Toastmaster Shelma, everybody.
Why we are getting so much of negativity today, being session of laughter. Laughter is the best medicine. We started off and improper, always to talk about improper. You don't have any other topic, Mr. Toastmaster. Not to me or not, but to the audience is like, you should have told me proper, Shelma, because I'm a person always thinking about a lot of positivity. And I can't talk even on a stage, something negative about someone. Because that's me and what I am. And to say, I can say something proper talks, what I can talk at the Queen's funeral. And it's a Queen's funeral. And how on earth can I talk something negative there? Isn't it? Thank you.
Thank you, Sharma. We all miss the Queen. Quickly going on to the next one. Let's go with this. This is for Toastmaster Nazneen, and the topic is bad parental motivational speeches. I repeat, bad parental motivational speeches. Toastmaster Nazneen, everybody.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. I was thinking again I'm going to be given a topic on cheating or how to go on a date.
just cheat someone because he's decided for sure that today everybody is going to go back home and think about cheating on their spouses. Definitely for sure. And ways of how they can do it best. But fortunately, I got a topic about bad parent.
Be the example. Set the example to your kids. You don't have to tell them to do this or do that.
They'll never do that. They do exactly the opposite.
If you tell your child, come back at 10 o'clock, the child will make sure that the phone is in an airplane mode. So you will not be able to contact your child without. Be a friend to your child rather than being a parent. So the best thing advice I would do is set an example. Don't ever impose. In fact, don't ever impose. Be friendly with them and go on hand in hand. I'm sure you will be friends, and in the long run, they will trust you more, and you will trust them more because they will come back to you and tell you everything. That's what I've been doing, and I've got great rapport with my children. I can be sure for sure where my daughter and my son is at this. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Nazneen. Now on special request from Madam President, we have Toastmaster Nitin Dubey. And your Nitin, are you there with us? Okay. Okay. Next one is for Toastmaster Vishwanath. Alternate ending to Titanic. Toastmaster Vishwanath, everybody. Alternate ending to Titanic.
Hello, Toastmasters. Welcome guests. Alternate ending to Titanic. I would only prefer a happy ending. Ideally, that is what we prefer to, because at the end of the day, what we think is, let it pass through this time and probably let the day end in a right manner, so that you can go back to sleep and have a proper sleep for 8 to 9 hours. The reason behind, I think what happens is in our mind it keeps rotating, saying that what could have went wrong or what could have actually happened badly. And we keep working on those as a stress and keep thinking that what I could have made it right. So what is right is something which is only in our hands and it's subject to our kind of thinking. So it might vary between the members or between the other counterpart. So what I could only say is, yeah, let the end be happy, so that we can start our next day in a fresh mind.
Thank you, Vishwanath. We just have 2 more slots open, so those Toastmasters haven't gotten a chance yet. Can't just ask. The next one is Toastmaster Kirtana, and your topic is weird reasons to quit your job. I repeat, weird reasons to quit your job. Toastmasters Kirtana.
Good evening all. It's great to be back.
Good evening.
It's great that many people wanted me here. The topic is weird reasons to quit your job. I'm in my 4th year placement season. I have to still get a job. Come on. Weird reasons to quit my job. I was just praying right now. I just gave my interview yesterday. Tomorrow I have one more. I just hope I get this job. Even if it is with a lesser package. Let me get into that job first. Work for a few months. About a year. Then let me think about a weird reason to quit my job. The weirdest reason would be I have no interest in it at all, or interest in the field of engineering at all. That would be the weirdest reason to quit my job. Right now, my only hope is that, yeah,
I hope I get a job. Thank you.
Running into the last minute, and so as the last title. The title is Things You Shouldn't Do Last Minute. This is for Toastmaster Saurabh. I repeat, things you shouldn't do last minute. Toastmaster Saurabh.
We should not do our speech profession in last minute. So, things we should not do in last minute is, something like our speech profession or something like examination profession. So, I remember once, I was out of school, and next day when I went to school, I came to know that we have some exam, and then I had to prepare something at the last. So that is something we should avoid doing.
Thank you. Hope you guys had fun. Yes. Yes. I don't know. Guys, the voting link is open now. I give you 5 seconds to do it. Please quickly vote. The password is laughter, all small. The voting links are open now. All done?
It's with him.
Cool. Back to Toastmaster of the day, Mr. Toastmaster Ratan.
Fellow Toastmasters, a bigger round of applause for our table topic master for the day. So this meeting has really been about vicissitudes, because we had some serious speeches and then we had this wacky table topic session, and now very soon we are going to be back to a very, I would say, a clinical evaluation session. And before that, I want to again give a little bit of a tidbit on laughter is the best medicine. Do you know of one medical man in India who's epitomized laughter? If you don't, then I'll give you a name. Dr. Madan Kataria. He's the person who's run 7,000 laughter clubs across the country. And he is a legend, an absolute legend. I had the pleasure of meeting him 3 years back, and he spoke about how important laughter is. And this rings a bell that we need to move on to have the evaluation session by a legend of Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Any guesses who that legend is? Anybody's guess. And I request Dr. Ratan to please come on stage and take control of the session, and then have his team give the evaluation feedback for the meeting. A big round of applause to Dr. Rajiv Kumar.
All the wacky topics were going on, the timer doesn't ring the bell. Somebody speaks something serious, he rings the bell. Somebody dances, he rings the bell. So please don't ring the bell till I complete my evaluation. Statutory warning to everyone. Otherwise, Jeevan opposite is Mrityu. Okay? So with that statutory warning, let me start off the evaluation. When I started my teaching career, I had gone to my teacher and PhD guy, Mr. Rakesh Sridhar, and I had asked him, sir, I'm going to get into the teaching profession. What do I do with students? So he said, Rajdeep, generally you will find somebody in class who will be very talkative and he'll ask you a lot of questions, but never get irritated with that person. I said, why sir? He's going to question me again and again and he's talking all the time. Why should I get irritated? He said, Rajdeep, usually that person is the only person who will be listening to you in class. So, a general evaluator's job is to listen. So we heard a lot of stuff going on. So let's start off with the evaluation for this particular meeting. We started off with the Sergeant at Arms. We had our acting Sergeant at Arms, Shashank, and I think so it's become a tradition in Bangalore Toastmasters to have an acting Sergeant at Arms all the time, right? Because I think so the real Sergeant at Arms is at arm's length. I don't know where is he at all. Correct or no? You've never seen him at all, correct? Where is he? God knows. He's disappeared, right? He's in Sergeant at Farms or something. He's somewhere, correct or no? But we have either Shashank or Chetan or somebody there. But keeping this tradition going, I think so, somebody is there to step in, and that's a great sign for Bangalore Toastmasters. So we had Shashank coming in, and I asked everybody, he had written everything on the board. Everything was clinically done, and he introduced the topic well, and then he tried to pull my leg, but he forgot he's my mentee, correct? So he said that we'll be touching on something, but I'm not going to touch you at all. Shashank, for this meeting, you did a great job. You carried on the meeting. You did a fantastic job. Sometimes I think so you have to put in a little more effort in introducing the president. I think so she deserves a little more about how she's performing and what she's doing in life, so that those people who are coming in for the first time also know a little more about the president, that she's a senior manager, she's in a part of an exhibition firm, and so that brings out the entire wholeness of a president. So just be a little more accurate and a little more elaborate in introducing the president, but otherwise a great job done by the acting Sergeant at Arms. So please give him a big round of applause. Then we had the President Hannah, who as usual draws out so many personal incidents, and it was a pleasure to see her introduce, even though the topic was the day, and she didn't force fit anything, so that was very nice. You know, although the topic was laughter, the best medicine, she speaks whatever she wants and then she'll connect it to the topic. So there is no. So I've decided I'm going to speak about my daughter, or you can say, it doesn't matter. Then at the end we all have to say laughter is the best medicine, so it doesn't matter. So Hannah, continue your good work, speak whatever you want, and at the end you just put laughter is the best medicine. Tomorrow it can be Tinder bio or something, also you can speak the same thing. Correct, no? But I love your story about the gym because it brought memories about my son when he was young. I remember once he was in the room and he was seeing TV, and I had just come back from work and he started shouting, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy," and I was so touched that my son is so attached to me. But when I went into the room, I was really shocked because Animal Planet was playing and there was a chimpanzee documentary going on, correct? And he was seeing that and he was saying, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy." So you brought memories of that chimpanzee there. But otherwise, Hannah, I think so you're doing a wonderful job. You're leading the club extremely well, and you bring out personal incidents, and you also give chances to other people. I remember last week it was Abhinama. So for a great job being done, please give Hannah a big round of applause. Then we had our dynamic Toastmaster, Ratan, Shetty. Now you all should know that Ratan Shetty is a very accomplished Toastmaster, and he's coming back to the club after a long period of time, but he was associated with the Toastmaster all this time on the online medium in Mumbai. So he's come back and he came back with a bang. He brings with himself that soberness, that calmness which he comes on stage, right? So today Ratan Shetty led the meeting with a lot of clarity. He brought in information because he's from the medical background and he talks about pharmacy, he talks about Madan Kataria, he talks about so many things, what laughter can do to an individual. So he brought out a lot of facts, and he also introduced each one in the best way he could. He called me up in the morning and he tried asking me what he was. That's why he was a little confused when he was introducing me, Rajdeep. And I was very happy that you're at least confused while introducing me. But others, you did a very, very nice job. A great job done, but a few things which I want to bring to your notice, Ratan. What I felt was, when you're doing something, do it completely. When you said, when you go, all of y'all smile, so everybody smiled. Then you say, everybody give a chuckle, so everybody gave a chuckle. What did you do, right? Correct. So next time, take it to the next level. All of y'all laugh. So make them laugh. So create that. All of y'all going to laugh. create that canned laughter or do something which will make the audience laugh along with you. You know, I try to. So give it your full potential when you're making them laugh. Or the second thing which I felt you should have done a little better was when you told about the title of location. I think so you forgot it, but you hit it well. You know, the title is the title. Then afterwards you remember the title. It was such a long title. I think so the person will never be able to remember the title. Lokesh, what was your title?
Title.
It was title. I thought, but he read something like truth and ephemeral and all. I almost got a heart attack listening to that. Correct, Amber? And so, but I was wondering why everything is going clandestine. Everybody, the first person doesn't want to reveal his title, Neshta doesn't want to reveal, Lokesh doesn't want to reveal, Guru Raj comes somewhere and all he dances on stage. So it was very, it looked like spying is the best medicine. Correct? But anyway, a good job done, Ratan. Just a little polishing here and there. I know you're coming on stage after a long time. But besides that, you led the team well, you led the meeting well. So for that, let's give Ratan a big round of applause. We had our first speaker, although he came last on stage, Guru Raj, and what do you call it, Nachu Nanju, correct? And to give a feedback on Guru Raj, we have our very experienced Toastmaster, Joe Sport. Sitting is the best place.
Besides, I don't want such an imposing figure here. Thank you, General Evaluator for the Toastmasters, dear guests, and Toastmaster Guru Raj in particular. Now, basically, this project essentially could be divided into two parts. I think it is, one is about organizing the speech, which is the content, and another one is presenting the speech, which is about the delivery. Now, coming to the content, I think Guru Raj possibly intended to make a grand entry with a dance, and that's a great idea for an extremely versatile and amazing dancer, and basically you are trying to play to your strengths. And coming to the corresponding delivery part of it, I think he showcased the amazing dancing skills, no doubts about the dancing skills, and there are a lot of wonderful messages like how it helped him overcome his inhibitions, brought out the leadership skills, and brought him out of his comfort zone and got him reinventing himself. Now, how this message could have been delivered with more impact, it would have been really impactful. The first lesson that Guru Raj learned was that courage starts with showing up. I think extending that a little further, it would have been courage starts with showing up on time. I think it would have helped really well because one, when you have some equipment here, I think you need to come much well in advance, get it synchronized well with whatever you wanted to do. So that is something that you need to always do, especially when you have something like this equipment to add to your speech. And secondly, coming to the content. Now you had quotes, you had a lot of other matter to help, how it helped build your personality. Now, if I were you, I would have possibly said about after the initial introduction, the benefits of this dancing that in my life. One was how it built your confidence. Second one was about how it brought out the leadership skills in you. Third one, how it helped you reinvent yourself. And the fourth one is it brought your energy beyond your limits. And one thing I'm sure that how you would have acquired such amazing dancing skills would have been practice, 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 relentless practice. And that is something I wish you had done here because that would have helped you end your speech in time and without referring to the notes, which actually took away a lot of energy from that. So, Nachu Nanju, with all your confidence and other speaking skills, I think with these tips, you will definitely have the audience dancing to your tunes. All the best for your next speech.
Thank you, Joe, for that wonderful evaluation. And just want to tell one small on stage is to start analyzing how we are going wrong. So never do that. I realized that when I started my table topics and when I'm in speaking and then suddenly I say, oh, I'm not doing well. And then you go into a slippery slope and you forget what it is. So when you came, oh, might be the energy was not good, might be I didn't come on stage. That you don't have to pass those negative comments on yourself. You're absolutely to cheese bari masmat. You don't have to worry. Correct? You're absolutely okay. Everyone makes mistakes and everybody. So why do you have to pass those comments on stage? Forget it. 100 people are there. Tomorrow nobody will remember what you spoke, what you did. So you don't have to beat yourself up for all these mistakes that you have done. It doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. You might have done a mistake. You would have come on stage. I know we had a session before this. I'm his mentor, so I have to tell this. And we did practice and we saw that it came in 5.5 minutes. But when you come on stage and then you start suddenly criticizing yourself, the energy wasn't good. So it doesn't work that way. So forget about it. Whatever Jose Paul has said, incorporate it in your speech and move forward in life. With that, we have the second speaker, Nishtre. Nishtre, I love the way you speak. And for that wonderful speech given by Nishtre, we have Alan Arano.
So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, keeping the project guidelines in mind, the speaker Nestor today presented a well-defined speech which was on a very relevant topic of abortion. One of the good parts of the speech was that it was well organized with a clearly defined introduction, body, and conclusion. Now, Nestor, I must commend you on the great introduction that you had. You had amazing confidence, and not only that, you had a wonderful use of visuals which added a lot of intrigue to your introduction. You appeared completely self-assured while delivering your speech, which is always a plus. Another strong point is that you engage the audience with very interesting, very well-constructed content that supported the specific purpose of the speech. Now, having said all these wonderful points, how do you make this powerful speech even more powerful? Now, one of the things that I felt was that your fast pace affected the clarity. And another thing is that because you were referring to notes, right, it affected eye contact. And when it comes to a powerful speech like that, if you were continuously looking at people, it would have made it even more impactful if you weren't looking down. And the last point which I felt was when you came on stage, you said thank you, and you ended your speech by saying thank you, and I felt that affected your impact. When you come on stage, give a pause, start your speech. No thank you, and even while ending, finish your speech, give a pause, back to the Toastmaster of the day, and I felt that would have really added to the impact of your speech. Having said that, there's no taking away from the fact that that was a gem of a speech, and I and we all look forward to many more gems from you.
Thank you, and that is a perfect evaluation if you don't understand what the person has spoken. Absolutely brilliant, and neither I understood nor the person next to me understood, or we only understood it was an abortion, something was going on. And I was wondering how will Alan evaluate here? Because this was going on, it's the right, you have to do this. And I was wondering how will he understand, but Alan, how did you evaluate this? You're a genius. So without understanding the speech, that's a perfect. Taking that Nestor, I think you did a wonderful job. But what happens is you have to raise your voice a little bit and be a little more clear. Although we understood the first part of the speech, I felt that I was losing on it and I was trying my best to understand, but I couldn't understand parts of your speech. I knew that it was against abortion and all that, but if you would have been a little more clearer, correct? Because you're not proposing to somebody. I thought you were proposing to somebody over there and she's going to have an abortion or something like that. Correct? So please be a little more clearer next time. And Alan, this is a recipe. We have sent it out on how to evaluate when you don't hear a speech. Correct? Last but not the least, we had our friend Lokesh and we have his evaluator Untitled.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
The objective of the speech was to persuade the audience through emotions, logics, or ethics. And I must say, it must be very difficult for all of us to not change our mind through that powerful speech, which was very kind, helpful, and true. How? It was true because he told the speaker, Toastmaster Lokesh, told his own personal story. He was kind enough to not generalize the issue, which is, we all have a habit of talking a lot without any sense. He took it personally, he gave his own experience and educated us more about it. And it was helpful because you showed us what to do to have a very good, meaningful conversation in future. You showed us the way. What generated the most curiosity in the audience, I believe, is something which happened even before you started speaking, and that is the title of your speech. For a moment, I was confused. I thought the Toastmaster of the day forgot your title, only to realize towards the end that it was actually an acronym. Coming to the body of your speech, I'm very happy to hear that. I'm very happy to see that you touched upon all the aspects of your life, your personal life, your professional life, as well as your social life. And this is what a good persuasion speech looks like. It says that it's not about the issue in hand. It speaks less about the issue in hand, but more about the acts that you did about the issue in hand. So you touched upon all the aspects, and at the same time, when you acted upon, after hearing that quotation from one of your friends, you didn't just show us the positive side of it, you also showed the downside of it. In your personal life, you were commented upon by your parents, in your professional life, and as well as in your social life when you were not getting invitations. Humor, who does not like laughing? Your effortless sense of humor was evident because you made the punchlines very relatable to the audience. Your punchlines were mostly those which we experience on a daily basis mostly. Your body language, of course, was full of confidence, and that showed that you came well prepared. And I envy your voice very personally, that low pitch and high pace, the best suited voice to give a persuasion speech, a speech filled with persuasion, and that made your speech sound effortless and very, very effective. If I may offer a few suggestions, you started with the question, which is, how many of you have changed your life after hearing or reading a quotation? And you might have observed that you got a very few responses from the audience, right? So you may want to be very careful while asking a question to the audience. What you could have done, you could have asked it this way: have you ever changed your life after reading a quotation? So you need not have a response from the audience, but you just let the audience think about it and visualize and think about the past. The pace of your speech was mostly this. So in the next speech, I would request you to have a little variety in the pace, just to create impact on the most important parts of your speech. And while the speech was persuading in nature, a few facts and figures would have added immense credibility to your speech. For example, if I read a quote that getting wet in the rain is beautiful and I get wet outside, does not mean the audience will also listen to me if I do not provide facts and figures about it. But your ending was the most attention-grabbing, where you did not wait for the audience to take action outside the club, but you just asked them to take an action right now. With that, it was a powerful speech with the most beautiful smile in the Toastmasters Club. I wish to see you in future with more wonderful speeches from you.
I know you can ring the bell for the evaluators, not for me. conversation should always be truthful, kind, and helpful. Let me tell all of you that Lokesh is not married, so he can speak about all this, right? The day he gets married, all this will go out of the window. That 5 seconds will become 5 minutes, correct? All this truth, kind, helpful, and all, he will have to take sannyas one day or the other, correct? So I can understand from which place I am coming, Lokesh, and I can understand Ankit also from which place he is coming. He couldn't stop, correct or no? He was so enamored. So after that, we had a break, and Ratan and Shetty, I think, got a little confused. Should we go for the table topic or should we not go? Then he decided, no, we'll go for the break, and then after a lot of thinking and going back and front, he decided that we'll go for a break, and we went for a break for 5 minutes, and it was good. And after that, we had the table topic master. Now, before we go to the table topic master, let me tell you a small incident which happened, which I heard some time back. There was this man who went and he was listening to a priest who was giving a sermon on the 7 deadly sins. And the priest said, do not steal. And this man got very upset because he found that his umbrella which was there, which he had brought to the sermon, was missing. He was looking here and there. Then the priest went on to the next cardinal cell, do not commit adultery, don't go towards other women. And he started smiling because he remembered where he had kept his umbrella. Right? Now, why I told you this was because when Aditya came on stage, the 7 deadly sins was do not commit adultery. His was all about that, right? You know where he kept his umbrella and came, right? It was completely, means when Ratan Shetty introduced, he said, Aisha Television, what was that, Ratan? He had told you to tell that. Okay, wonderful. Because nowadays the transgender movement is going on. So I thought this fellow has gone for some change or something like that. Correct? We can't speak about all this people and all that thing. But I thought then he came on stage and then I told, who came here? Aisha, no, Aditya, Aisha, whatever. Correct? But then the topics, my God, Aditya, where do you get all these topics? To poor Richard D'Souza is saying, unlike the age of impressing me, he's way beyond that age to do all this, Aditya. Have some concern for him. To Guru, you're telling to undress and have a shower. That poor fellow, from morning he hasn't had bath. I came with him in car. Okay. To one girl, you're telling don't cheat on your boyfriend. There is a lot of that energy which is frustrated in you. You better get married fast. That's the only solution. What do you say, Teresa ma'am? He's a modern piece of art. To Abhay, you're telling to change his Tinder bio. And Abhay is looking at Priyanka. Poor Priyanka got married. She's also going for Tinder. So all sorts of topics. But Aditya, on the good part of it, we had some good people who answered your topics. We had Bruno who went on a high because he loves his Barbie. Correct? So there were some people who answered. But just on the serious side of it, Aditya, you know what's the true test of a good table topic master? Where the person can speak for at least 1.5 minutes. And with the topics you gave, either it was too embarrassing for them to speak for 1.5 minutes, so they couldn't think what they had to speak for 1.5 minutes. So next time, make it a mix. I know it's good to have fun. You have done a great job. You've put in a lot of effort to bring these topics. But try and make it a mix. Might be one topic on unlikely ways to impress a woman. The second one on might be the silence is golden. Something. So if you mix it up, it doesn't become so apparent. But if you don't mix it up, it becomes a little stretched. So my only suggestion to you is just mix it up a little bit and test your topic to see whether the person will be able to speak for 1.5 minutes. The most of them, even how many seconds, most of them took 30-35 seconds. The timer didn't have any problem at all, right?
I think very few people took more than 1 minute.
Yeah, very few people took more than 1 minute. So that's correct. So other than just keep that in mind. But otherwise, you try to make it interesting. I know it is zealous to make it interesting, and so you tried your best to give it a bit, but just test it out next time and don't get it all in one direction. Then it becomes a little bit. See me, sometimes I'll introduce all these rubbish things in the middle, and sometimes I'll be serious like I'm now. Correct? So just do that, and that will bring out the best in you. So after the table topics, let's get to the tag team, and we have a timer. Jeevan, who will read out the time. Jeevan is an entrepreneur and he organizes industrial visits. So let's see how he visited into time today.
Yeah, I think the journey started exactly at 6:31, but your destination of having the snacks will get late by another 5 minutes because of some of the speakers and evaluators exceeded their time. Over to general evaluator.
We have our accountant and Priyanka.
A very good evening, one and all. As the accountant, it was my responsibility to carefully listen and make note of crutch words like and repetitive words like and so on. And I'm very glad to say that not many have used. But moving on to the speech section, the person that had a lot of clutch words and repetitive words was Guru Raj. And moving on to the evaluation section was Joe sir, and who had a lot of clutch and repetitive words, and Ankit only clutch words. Over to you, Guru Raj.
Thank you. Last but not the least, we have a grammarian in Puneet.
Happy evening, members and guests. I believe today the word of the day was vicissitude. And Ratan used it twice and Esther used it once, so a round of applause for them. But I believe going forward, we'll have to find a way to introduce the word of the day early in the meeting. So other than the role takers, everybody else also gets a reminder. There are a lot of really good usages today. A few of them are fit of urgency, your sky, your limit, good fortunes, smile on the day. How morbid. It's never about the role, always about the goal. Going clandestine, imposing figure. To put it mildly, sluggish, wacky topics. A few patterns that I noticed across all the members were the usages of excess words. You were very verbose. My entire life changed. You could have come down to my life changed. Means the same. Uselessness things could have been said as useless things. As I continued practice would be as I continued practicing. A few pronunciations, and it isn't limousine, it is limousine. Somebody mentioned confidence, it's confidence. Conversation, and it is conversation. A total amateur. Amateur itself means somebody who's right. So just an amateur would be enough. I think excess words is a pattern across our members. Other than that, it was a very effortless meeting. Back to the
elaborate grammar rule, and as he said, if you introduce the word of the day at the beginning, somehow it would fit in well. So with that, I'm going to a close to my evaluation. I just remember when I was working in Sivananda Electronics, we had a boss called Mr. Ravi, and he had this good practice. He also believed in the same thing, laughter is the best medicine. And he used to call us all during the lunch break and he used to crack a joke, and all of us used to laugh very heartily. So once when he called all of us, we were around 8 in the office, he cracked a joke and 7 of us laughed, and one of the person who was there in that group, Habib, he did not laugh at all. So Ravi asked the boss, Habib, why are you not laughing? He said, sir, I just resigned yesterday. So whenever a celebrity cracks a joke, you must laugh, okay? I hope you got the point. With that, I hand it back to the Toastmaster of the day, Ratan Shetty. And thank you for giving me this opportunity, the Vice President of Education and the entire team for having me on stage. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Fellow Toastmasters, I told you it's going to be a serious session. Having said that, the person who can bring in laughter into a room is indeed blessed. This was said by Bennett Cerf, and laughter is indeed the best medicine. I thank wholeheartedly the committee for giving me this opportunity to be the Toastmaster of the day today, and in particular the Vice President of Education. Thank you very much, and I hand it over back to our president.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ratan. While we wait for the what do you say? The voting link. Okay, sorry, the voting link is on the group, so if you can please vote. A few announcements to be made. Today's meeting, except for the architect of this meeting, which is the Vice President Education, each one of you were on stage. So a big round of applause to the table topic master. The renewals this month end, by 30th, we need to pay TMI. So I request all the members who are keen to renew the membership, please do so immediately, because it takes us time for us to make the payment. If you do it on the 30th, it's not possible to do it immediately. Yes. And now for the awards. The Best Table Topic Speaker award goes to the person who very elaborately or eloquently said about the master art. The Best Role Taker award goes to the person who made us laugh continuously with all his sarcasm and humor, Dr. Rajdeep Manwani. The Best Tag Role Player goes to Toastmaster Puneet Surana. The Best Evaluator award goes to Toastmaster Jose Paul. And the Best Speaker award goes to Toastmaster Lokesh. Thank you all for once again coming. Tomorrow is the last day of the government school speech project, a speech craft project, and we're going to have a competition tomorrow. So if any of you are interested to join, please do come. The snacks, Sureka ma'am, after the meeting, please don't forget to have your snacks. And now I adjourn meeting number 1343.